Alright guys, and welcome back. My name is D-Free, and for today's video we have a bit of an open question. So I'm going to start off by asking you guys, whenever we read this you'll get a little bit more context, but how excited will you guys be about the upcoming, potentially upcoming, Goku and Frieza? So for the record, it has been semi-obvious for the past few weeks at least that we were probably going to get Universe Reps as the first part of the anniversary, or Universe Survival Saga as the first part of the anniversary. And as of note, or as of recent, excuse me, they also even brought back this banner, and this banner really stands out because it's a banner that is here until the middle of June, red flag, and also features these characters. What this banner tells me is that 17 will not be on the upcoming banners. For the record, Goku and Roshi probably will be featured on those banners alongside whatever else is new, but this obviously is here because they know how premium of a character 17 is, one of the best characters in the game, and they're offering you a chance on a separate banner to pull him whenever his team gets more relevance, right? So that's why this banner stands out. So that means that we are definitely, like, if it was ever in doubt, we're getting it and it's obvious. Next, they have been doing those promos on a daily basis. They've done them for, I think, Krillin, no, not Krillin, I wish. 17 and 18, I believe, just recently got theirs, and then there was Piccolo, and there was also TN. Voice actors have been popping up, and they've been doing their previews, talking about the anniversary, which is going to be in a few days. So again, there's no reason for all of those random characters, not really random, but characters that are not your main cast, right? Not your main guys like Goku and Vegeta and Gohan or some other characters. There's no reason if it's not Universe Rep themed. So again, it's Universe Rep themed. Now, if you watch my prediction video, for the record, I said I think that Orange Piccolo is going to happen in this anniversary. I don't know if it's going to be dual theme part 1 or if he's going to be later in the anniversary, but I do think he is high on the list, as well as a character like Ultra Vegito Blue. I think those other two characters are going to most likely happen. Now, for this, going back to the initial tweet, we don't know if it's Goku and Frieza, for the record. They just seem like the most obvious candidate, right? But there are some other decent candidates that we could get. I don't know if we'd get another Goku and Vegeta tag character on the heels of just getting one, but Goku and Vegeta could be one from, you know, when they're in the Kaioken times 20 and evolved states as well. That's something that they can do. It was times 20, right? Anyways, Kaioken and evolved could be a thing. And there's some other ways that they could do that as well, that combination. They could even make some other stuff happen with 17 integrated somehow with this character on the screen. I don't know what they would do with that, but the point is there are some other high-end options. But when it comes down to it, unless they're going to flat out reprint some characters from this tag group, they've kind of, when you look at Universe Reps, they've kind of already actually given us mostly everything, at least on the base level. They could go back, and again, they can make another Ultra Instinct, though I don't think they will do that because they just did one a few months ago. They could go back and do some other variants of some of these characters, but like an LF God Topo or some other stuff. But this is kind of getting into like secondary celebration type characters. Ultra or LF Kefla, these are things that are on the table for down the line. I don't think they'll happen during the anniversary. I wouldn't be mad if Kefla, I guess, was the LF for part 1. Some of you guys probably would be, but it would actually tie in pretty well with an Ultra Vegito Blue. Anyway, so the discourse around this character is that it's not all that hype. So I want to know what you guys think. Are you excited about this character on the screen potentially coming out as part of the 5th year anniversary of Dragon Ball Legends? So like I said, with the groundwork being set that there's not a ton of stuff without reprinting that's actually like anniversary level that they can do. I mean, there's some other fun stuff that I would like to see, like the two Namekian dudes from Universe 6. I'd like to see Botamagetta would be such a fun character, but these are not quote-unquote anniversary level characters, which, by the way, I think it's so funny when people say, oh, this character is not anniversary level, and then you look at Legends history and they put out characters like Ice and Nova for anniversary. Like, you can't tell me anything isn't anniversary level. That's not even a hate on those characters. You can't tell me anything isn't anniversary level if they're going to do that. But the key thing is they're not headlining, right? This character would be a headline, like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was the headline for Ice and Nova. People didn't summon for those characters. They summoned for Gogeta. So with this, I actually, like I said, the groundwork being set, I'm actually okay with this. I would personally like to see, again, some way for them to integrate 17 in there. If it's on like the LF animation, I'd be cool with that. Oh, God, I gotta stop this GIF. If it's on the LF animation, I'd be cool with that. Similar to how Sparking Frost, anyone? Anyway, similar to how Bergamo has his brothers pop in for his attack, right? I would be cool with that. Like if 17 just pops in, I'd be cool with that. So the general discourse is that this isn't very popular. So I want to know what you guys think. So let's read some of the replies here. And this is the tweet from Goku here is not the only one I've seen of this. This came up today. I've been seeing these for like the last week and a half. When people really started to realize this was an extreme possibility, people have been popping up with this take. Would this be the most underwhelming anniversary headliner we've ever had? Which, by the way, that's actually a fair question. That is actually, regardless of how excited you are about this character, that's actually kind of a fair question. Why? Because if you look back at the anniversaries, what have we got as a headliner, right? Super Vegito was ultra anticipated. Super Vegito was probably the most anticipated character up to that point if you didn't play Legends leading up to the 1 year anniversary. He was the most anticipated character for most people. So he just made the most sense, and he was ultra hyped for that time. Next, Vegito Blue, same exact scenario. Heavily anticipated character, and was just really, really strong and had the notoriety as Vegito Blue, man. So it is what it is. Fusions in these Dragon Ball games, fusions are at the top of the totem pole, for the record. And we look at the next anniversary, we get 2 LF fusions. I don't care as much about Zamasu, he's whatever. But Gogeta, another character, ultra anticipated, and people have been waiting for. The thing about some of these characters is when you get to like, you know, the year prior, the months prior, people are like, dude, when is this character coming out? And it's like, maybe for next anniversary, right? And that's how we were for the 4th anniversary too. People have been waiting for Ultra Instinct Goku. So, I mean, that's a fair question. If this is at the bottom of the list in terms of hype, that's a fair question. I'm not the biggest Gogeta 4 fan, but there was a lot of anticipation for him before his reveal. And I'd argue the least hype, he said that Gogeta SS4 was the least hype among the ones so far. These two just don't seem to be getting anyone excited in the same way. So, okay, I don't really know who the least hype was. That's just on a per-player basis. But I guess Gogeta 4 would probably be the one that I saw the least amount of anticipation for. But the thing about all these other anniversaries is that you gotta, if you were playing in that time, you gotta remember too, it was extremely obvious who the character was. And even downright, like for the 4th anniversary, we kind of like had some like leaks popping up too. Like it's just, you know, like it just downright like we already kind of know what's happening, right? So let's see some of the quotes here. I'm not gonna read the replies too much. We got my guy here. He says 2 filler LFs that are just waiting to be overshadowed by Part 3 Ultras. Yeah, that could be the case, unless he's talking about some other character. But I guess I could open this. What did you say about Orange Piccolo? Again, Orange Piccolo I think is happening, but yeah, like this kind of like, it's not, it's almost the thing like, are they gonna just keep doing like fusions again? They didn't want to reprint another Ultra Instinct for anniversary again. Last year, I felt like Super Saiyan 3 from the Wrath of the Dragon movie was cool in terms of hype factor, but he definitely wasn't Ultra Instinct hype. Ultra Rose is more hype than this. Okay, that's fair. No one cares about this moment. No one wants to summon base Frieza and Goku. So certainly not for the anniversary. Yeah, okay, I'll give it that. Maybe they have some sort of preparation mechanic. That would be kind of cool. It would actually make kind of some sense based on the fact that we got that mechanic just ahead of the anniversary, and a lot of times that's kind of a precursor for a bigger release. Maybe that releases Vegito for the record. I don't know. When we see that mechanic come back. I think it comes back down to how predictable Legends has become. If we figure out about 4 months prior to release that a character is most likely to drop, then it kills the hype. Yeah, that's kind of okay, but as you see the reply, we knew Gogeta Blue was coming for Fest, and it was insanely hype regardless. Yeah, we did. This is what I said earlier. Legends, like, you really kind of know what's happening way before it happens, but some of that is just that, some of that is just the sheer fact that we get to a point with this game when it's like, okay, well, what can they do? It's the Vegito Blue thing. There is not a damn thing in the game right now that indicates Vegito Blue will come out for the anniversary. Not anything. There's no breadcrumbs. There's nothing. There's no reason why you should think Vegito Blue is coming for the anniversary. But everybody is positive he's coming because we just know this game's track record, right? It's not like where I've showed the history with what's happening right now for Universe Survival, and it's like, okay, duh, Universe Survival is part 1. It's obvious with everything that's happening. But, like, there's nothing happening signifying Vegito Blue. It just makes so much sense, right? And so with Gogeta Blue for the end of the year, it was obvious, too. It's like, okay, this is Gogeta Blue is coming. Like, but this is how Legends has been for a really long time. For me, no, but for most, probably, yeah. I'm sure there are people that are hype. This is a hype character, but comparing anyone to Vegeta or Gogeta and MUI isn't fair. Yeah. Anyone pretending this isn't a hype unit is just trying to make sure they don't fit in, because like we are talking about the same scene, the moment that had filled stadiums across the world losing their mind, conclusion to one of the biggest anime arcs of all time. So, okay, let's go back to that moment, because everything that Rolako just said here is true. This moment in and of itself, so you can separate how hype the moment is in the anime from the mobile game, especially when it's this far out. Here's an example. Dokkan was booming in extreme popularity when Super was airing back in 2015. Now, Dokkan came out in 2015. However, a lot of the releases that were happening tied hand in hand with the Super anime. The hype was through the roof when we see Kaioken Goku for the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken for the first time, and then he pops up instantly in the game. We see Vegito Blue, he pops up nearly instantly in the game. We see Goku Black, we don't know anything about him. He pops up in the game. And you see the same thing for all the other major releases. Legends, for what it's worth, never got to experience that. Legends pops up when the anime is damn near done, right? So, and they obviously have to work their way. They can't just say, oh, if Ultra Instinct is here, we're going to just drop Ultra Instinct instantly as our first big release. You know, like, they can't do that. I have to go back and look at the timelines for when the Super anime ended, but it was nearing its end of its run, at least if it wasn't already done. So I digress. We come back to the anime for Legends 5 years later, mind you. But that moment, like I said, you can separate it. That moment was really, really hype. That was the conclusion, with the culmination. It was really cool to see Goku and Frieza work together that way, especially how after Frieza was plotting and just doing other stuff the whole damn tournament, being shady as you would expect. And then 17 again plays his role in that too, and they wind up winning at the end. That arc had its ups and downs, but it was very popular, right? We have a lot of stuff that was in that arc, a lot of characters, a lot of moments in that arc as well that we still haven't even seen. Like I said, that they've kind of done stuff. Another moment that just kind of popped in my head was the Big Bang Kamehameha from Goku and Vegeta, right? Didn't they do that towards the beginning of the tournament? They just throw a freaking Big Bang attack and Kamehameha or something like that. Maybe it was a Final Flash and it mixed, right? Anyway, like, it was just, there's so much stuff that they can do from that arc, and that's why that arc is actually pretty popular. Anyway, moving on. In terms of the game, that's where I said, like in the earlier portions of this video, I'm not so sure how the hype is reflected in a game, right? But again, we're at the point where it's like, well, what are they going to do? There's not a ton that's quote-unquote anniversary headliner material that they're going to be able to do without just simply retreading content. And do you want that? Especially if they're dead set on making it Universe Survival Saga themed. What are they redoing? Ultra Instinct, Evolution, Vegeta? What are they redoing? And these are characters that got releases or Zenkai semi-recently. I just don't know. I don't see it. And we damn sure don't want to see Future for the third time in an anniversary. So what are they doing? Let's read some of the quotes. Am I the only one hyped here? It's because no one cares for the game as much as they did back then. I'm not sure. That's not okay, so I don't know I need to look at the numbers to see how valid this is about the actual player base and stuff. I don't really know. But this doesn't really have anything to do with how hype the character is. Unless he's saying like, oh, I don't see the same like hype in people I'm following on Twitter, is what Joku's saying. Maybe I'm missing that, but he's not seeing the community going hype about it. This is more hype in an actual good moment compared to every Goku and Vegeta or other tag unit they do. Okay, so this is actually maybe not a hot take. The Goku and Vegetas, aside from the Broly movie one, it kind of feels like they just kind of made up the Super Saiyan 4 variant. I get what they were doing there, and they did kind of fight together, obviously. Kind of felt like they just made that one up. And Goku and Vegeta from the Buu Saga, okay, that's fine, especially with the preparation mechanic. But this actually may not be much of a hot take. This is more hype than some of those other ones. I don't know. I think the Broly movie one was peak hype, but that was also because of the reveal. Love waiting for units I will never have. Worst part is they're going to be an amazing unit. To be honest, I'm still summoning for the Goku and Vegeta. I take them over this. Wait, you're still summoning for Goku and Vegeta? The tag that just came out? You should definitely stop. You following me? You are following me. Maybe you're watching this video. Stop. Just stop pulling. By the way, here's another thing about Anniversary. Regardless of how hyped these are, it's very possible that you should just probably skip their banner or wait on their banner and then wait to see what the Ultra is or what else we get, what other banners we get, because their banner will most likely still be up. It may not have all of its same perks, though. That's the difference. If the presentation of the reveals and stuff for this unit is done well, it'll be a hype. Oh, Kajidazu were playing. Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm going to have to mute the game audio again. In fact, I just don't even unmute it anymore. They get people hyped if the game didn't suck. Okay. You're literally a Super Vegeta fan. I don't want to hear your opinions on hype. All right, man. I don't think the unit itself is not hype. It is one of the most iconic moments in Super. See, this is what I'm saying. If you go back to that time period, this actually got this GIF playing over and over. It's killing me. If you go back to that time period, it was extremely hype. The problem is the Annie last year was so garbage, Legends fans don't even seem to care anymore. I did a video ranking the anniversaries, and one of the things I brought up was that the 4th anniversary, part 1, was really, really, really bad, but part 2 of it was really, really, really good in terms of resources and everything that they did. You can check that video out when this one is done. You'll see it on your screen. So definitely watch that video if you haven't. I know it's kind of longer, but maybe if you're on a drive or something, you can just pop that in and listen to it. Everyone will switch up when the animations drop. This actually is going to happen. When people start seeing the character, they're going to be like, oh, crap. This is literally the only unit I've wanted since they announced tags. I don't get how people can say the protagonist and the most popular villain teaming up in one unit is not hype. That is what made this moment so hype in the series, is that stuff you just mentioned. And for tags, I'm still waiting on Goten and Trunks. I don't know how they've made these duo characters and just haven't done that. I know it's not the most hype thing and it's very predictable, but still, I feel like that could have happened for this Buu Saga campaign. They could have at least dropped an EX version, right? Easily the most underwhelming headliner for an anniversary. This will be the first time where I'm skipping a banner at a major celebration, even if the unit is broken or not. At least I'll have Dokkan Global's anniversary. This is why I talked about it could be. This is actually a legitimate question versus other headliners. That's a legitimate question. They're the hypest thing, but the problem is it's way too predictable now, and they are the option left. It's way predictable now that they are, I assume he's saying, the only option left. We just got a tag unit a month ago. People aren't excited, and Legends took 5 years to release them. See, Annie right here is mentioning everything I brought up in this video, where, for one, they took forever to release them, but you can't blame them for that, for not being able to capitalize on the hype for this character in the same way Dokkan did, because they were just so far behind, to the point where they could have dropped this character a couple of years ago, but at that point it was like, what even is the point, right? Because if you didn't understand what I was trying to say, when the game is new, they can't just release Ultra Instinct or Blue Goku. Why? Because they want the characters released in a representative manner. If you go back to early in the game's lifespan, people were waiting for Super Saiyan Blues to drop, or what was it? They were waiting for Blue Vegito or some of this other stuff, and it's like, we're never going to get these characters until we get our first Super Saiyan Blues represented in the game. And that was Goku and Vegeta, and then after that, we started getting these other characters. Why? Because the people that manage this IP are literally telling them they can't do certain things, okay? The people that make the game, they have some say, obviously, about what they do and stuff like that, but the people that are actually the shareholders and manage this IP, the real higher-ups, not freaking Bandai. Well, Bandai is a part of this group too, but not the game devs. Who's this game developed by? Dimps? They don't get to say crap about this game. Like, they don't get to do. They get to choose a little bit, but it's not really their choice. So if they are being mandated to wait for a certain time before they release certain things, then that's the case. So when it comes to this, they were just already behind the buck so far by a couple years because they had to do other things first, to the point where it's just like, okay, well, it doesn't even matter anymore, right? They can't capitalize on that crazy hype moment. Also, it is weird that we just got a tag character literally a month ago. It doesn't make sense to go from tag to tag. Well, we've like never seen that before, have we? I don't recall the actual like time limits on some of the other ones, but we are just getting force-fed 2 of them back to back, basically. So that's just kind of weird too. That's also my thing about why I don't think it'll be Goku and Vegeta, because it's so weird. However, when it came to the anniversary, I said, hey, it's going to be Universe Survival in movies. I just don't know what they're doing for movies, right? I was like, is it Beast Gohan time or whatever? Maybe if that movie was out, I don't remember. Anyway, I don't remember if that movie was out yet. But I was like, yeah, it's going to be movies, but I just don't know what they're doing. They wind up doing dual Gokus, which was like so far on down the list of possibilities, I wouldn't even have considered them doing dual Gokus, right? So I guess it was the first time for everything. And again, it is kind of predictable. I think this moment in and of itself is one of the most hype moments in the whole series, but with the anime taking forever to start back and Legends failing to capitalize on this early, hype just kind of faded. If you played Dokkan when they dropped, you'd know. Exactly. I'm going to read this one and just wrap up here. I still don't know. If you're watching the video, I still don't know how to pronounce your name. I butcher it every time, so I'm not even going to try. He's right. This is everything I've explained this whole video. When it comes to this character, Legends simply missed the peak time. But Dokkan, when they got this, it was insanely hype. I'm pretty sure that, well, at this time, everything was doing this for the record. I'm pretty sure they got #1 in the stores. All the videos on YouTube did crazy good. Everything. This was super hype. They probably hit first place multiple times. This was ultra hype, okay? Legends, unfortunately, took way too long. And so I think if you think this is a underwhelming thing, you're probably right. But because like I mentioned earlier, you can separate the hype from the game, but you couldn't do that with Dokkan. I didn't get that point across earlier. You couldn't do that with Dokkan because when I was talking about how things drop at the same time, this is one of the biggest reasons Dokkan blew up to be as successful as it is because the anime was running. And that's not a knock, obviously. And this is something Legends never had. And for whatever reason, they're taking 6 years to bring the anime back. And that was actually just a random number, but it's damn near 6 years. And maybe it's back sometime soon, but they're obviously going to animate the stuff that Toyotaro has been doing in the manga. They're not just going to never animate Moro and all these other characters. And that's also why, like I said, the people that manage this game, they're telling these people that they're not allowed to produce Moro or Ultra Vegito Ultra Ego Vegeta. These characters are not able to pop into these games, any of them, until they're animated. So you're waiting on these things. The anime has to return. It's mandatory. The anime has to return before these characters start popping up. And part of that is because they want to do cross promotion, which is, like I was saying, one of the big reasons why this is such a hype moment, because of cross promotion. So this is the last one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I do think that was a legitimate question about being underwhelming. I can see why people would be underwhelmed as well. For me personally, it's a moment I'm cool with and I'm excited about. And if I think back to what it was how hype it was back then, I can get down with it. It's not going to be my most anticipated or favorite thing probably, but I'm looking forward to it. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. And remember that video I talked about earlier, it's on your screen currently.